In the depths of rural Africa, nestled between dense forests and winding rivers, stood the infamous St. Mary's School, a place where children laughed, played, and learned, but beneath its innocent facade, a sinister force lurked. For years, puppies from a nearby village would go missing, never to be seen again. The villagers whispered among themselves, speculating about the cause of these disappearances. Some blamed wild animals, while others believed it was a work of malevolent spirit. As time passed, the disappearances didn't stop at puppies. Children from the village would vanish, leaving behind only tears and unanswered questions. The villagers would search far and wide, but their efforts would yield nothing. It was as if the children had never existed. The school, however, seemed untouched by the darkness that surrounded it. The teachers and staff went about their daily routines, unaffected by the eerie atmosphere that permeated the village. But the students were different. They would often whisper among themselves about strange noises and movements at night. Some claimed to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the corridors, while others spoke of disembodied voices that seemed to come from nowhere. The villagers would occasionally ask questions about the missing children, but their inquiries would be met with silence. It was as if the school had a strange power to make people forget or ignore the disappearances. Those who dared ask too many questions would soon find themselves vanishing into thin air. Years went by, and the legend of St. Mary's School spread far and wide. Parents would warn their children about the school, telling them horror stories about the cursed place. But one day, a child went missing, and the circumstances surrounding his disappearance would change everything. Father Okonkwo, a respected priest in the village, had a son named Emeka. Emeka was a bright and curious boy who had always been fascinated by the stories about St. Mary's School. Despite his father's warnings, Emeka would often sneak peeks at the school from afar, wondering what secrets it held. One fateful evening, Emeka decided to explore the school's grounds. He snuck in through a side gate, his heart racing with excitement and fear. As he wandered deeper into the school, he stumbled upon a hidden room. Inside, he found ancient artifacts and strange symbols etched into the walls. But Emeka's curiosity was short-lived. As he turned to leave, he felt an unseen force grab him, pulling him into the darkness. His screams were muffled, and he was never seen again. Father Okonkwo was devastated. He searched the school and the village, but there was no sign of his son. Unlike other parents, however, Father Okonkwo didn't ask questions or demand answers. Instead, he turned to his faith, praying for guidance and wisdom. As he prayed, Father Okonkwo began to experience strange visions. He saw the founder of St. Mary's School, a man named Father Joseph, who had lived centuries ago. Father Joseph's spirit was restless, consumed by a dark energy that drove him to take the lives of innocent children. Father Okonkwo realized that Father Joseph's spirit was still present in the school, feeding on the fear and suffering of the children. The puppies, the villagers, and even Emeka all had fallen victim to Father Joseph's malevolent powers. Armed with this knowledge, Father Okonkwo embarked on a mission to uncover the truth behind St. Mary's School. He discovered that Father Joseph had made a pact with dark forces, trading the souls of children for power and protection. The school had been built on a site of ancient rituals, where human sacrifices were offered to appease malevolent spirits. As Father Okonkwo dug deeper, he faced resistance from the school's authorities. They tried to silence him, but he persisted, determined to free the school from Father Joseph's grasp. The battle between Father Okonkwo and Father Joseph's spirit had begun. The priest would perform rituals, praying for the souls of the children and trying to weaken Father Joseph's hold on the school. But Father Joseph would retaliate, unleashing his dark powers to intimidate and harm Father Okonkwo. The villagers, sensing the escalating conflict, began to whisper among themselves once more. They talked about the priest's quest to save the school and the children. Some believed he was crazy, while others saw him as a hero. As the days turned into weeks, Father Okonkwo's determination only grew stronger. He knew that he had to save the school no matter the cost. The fate of the children, the villagers, and even his own son hung in the balance. The story of St. Mary's School became a legend, a cautionary tale about the dangers of meddling with forces beyond human understanding. And Father Okonkwo's quest became